This is pretty much our copper stash.
Inside this Portland recycling plant, each strand of metal matters.
And what are we looking at here?
So luckily, this is what they're trying to go steal.
Theft of metals like copper have been on the rise in Portland.
Where would someone find this?
So this is typically inside of wire.
James Corey at Calbag Metals, where people drop off scraps for cash, knows exactly what to look for.
So it's a real thing for us. We do see suspicions daily.
Typically, recycled metals are unmarked, making it hard to tell if it's stolen.
A lot of times it'll be either car parts or something you can tell is made directly from a manufacturer, and you can tell it was taken from their yard or somewhere. It's typically a place of business.
Right now, copper is worth about $4 a pound.
You've got over 300 pounds on the scale there. So, you could be looking at something that's in the neighborhood of $1,200.
We don't want to be caught up buying stolen material from anyone, and it's just a liability and a risk.
And these are wires and things that are easy for people to steal.
Yeah, I mean, wires that you can find anywhere there's electricity.
Something Dan Chasen knows all too well.
I eat it, drink it, sleep it 24 hours a day.
Dan oversees theft and vandalism at CenturyLink.
So there's an uptick in the amount of damage that's being done that's affecting many parts of our day-to-day lives.
He says people are cutting CenturyLink cables, like what the man in this video was apparently trying to do in Washington.
Get the out of there!
And stealing the copper from inside the rubber casing, which looks like this.
The strand size of the copper will actually matter.
Washington and Oregon are the leading states in the country for this type of theft, according to CenturyLink data. So far this year, it's happened more than 370 times to the company's cables in Washington. In Oregon, more than 140 times this year, compared to 79 incidents last year.
It is a direct attack on critical infrastructure.
These images from CenturyLink show recent damaged wires in Oregon. Every time a cable is cut, there's a service outage, affecting anywhere from just 10 to 100,000 customers.
When that service is disrupted, it can affect public safety. It can affect grandma who lives way in the back of nowhere and she falls and breaks her hip and can't call 911. It affects police services, fire, medical. It affects all of it. My fear is at this rate, eventually it's going to cause a death, not contribute to it. It's going to cause a death because someone can't get help.
And the lengths some criminals will go for the valuable metal, he says, are endless.
Well, it's driven by a couple of facts. The factors that address it most is the availability or the ease in which they can sell it. How can I make a profit on it? Some of this is narcotics driven. A large majority of it is by groups of people who are looking for a way to get their next fix.
I've been doing it for quite some time.
For John, who's homeless in Northwest Portland, finding metal scraps,
You take the outside coating off.
has helped him get by. For the past 40 years, he says he's spent on the streets.
All kinds of cigarettes, food, ride the bus, loan it to people.
Strands of coiled copper lay around John's camp.
This is from a dumpster, just like down the way actually. Clean it during the day, and I usually find it at night. From motors, it's the windings inside the motor. So I mean, it's a serious task.
Back at Calbag Metals, right down the street from John's tent.
We're not going to accept material that's stolen.
A state law requires them to wait 3 days to reimburse people for metal, giving them time to try and trace its origin. They also require ID.
I don't have ID, so I don't really turn it in that often.
How do you get the money for it then?
I have other people turn it in.
Furthering security measures, CenturyLink is now moving away from copper, turning to less profitable materials instead, and adding GPS trackers to cables in problem areas, like Portland.
We can't stop it alone. The police can't stop it alone. If you see something, say something.
Now, those at CenturyLink tell me this is much bigger than people just trying to earn a buck and a few customers being without services. These outages can have sprawling impacts. For example, One cable cut recently in Tacoma, Washington, shut down the Port of Tacoma, the prison, and the hospital with just one cut from someone searching for copper, they say. Wire repairs in the last year have cost CenturyLink more than $8 million nationwide. And there's only so much CenturyLink can do, so they're leaning on local law enforcement. Officers in King County, Washington have partnered with neighboring police agencies to try and catch the criminals there. And here in Oregon, the Portland Police East Neighborhood Response Team has also been working with CenturyLink since July. A spokesperson for Portland Police tells me on July 31st, officers arrested a 35-year-old man in the process of cutting CenturyLink wire and stealing the copper near 102nd Avenue in I-84, not far from the Gateway Shopping Center. Officers connected that same man to another incident in early July. He faces several charges, including burglary and theft. Okay, talk to us. Maybe you've seen this happen in your neighborhood, or maybe you've experienced an outage because of it. Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090.